We are seeing more Tesla ads on X. And Tesla in China is looking to set to raise the price of the Model Y by 5,000 yuan on April 1st, which is likely to boost the stock price by a tiny little bit. It's a tiny increase though, only about 700 USD. For me to consider the increase more seriously, it would have to be about $1,000. Otherwise, I am largely thinking that Tesla is playing the psychological game here, which works, so I'm not against that. Seems like there's an update on the sales that they had in China last week. The actual number turns out to be slightly higher. 12,000 deliveries were reported, but looking at this new data now, the deliveries were slightly higher by about 500 to 600 vehicles. Ros Gerber is really skeptical of the Tesla price increase. He thinks Tesla is just using psychological games here to increase sales temporarily. But Gary is of the opinion that if the price sticks, then it's worth more revenue and more in earnings. I also like how Tesla is not increasing the prices in all of the markets all at once. They did it in one market first, Canada, then the US, then Europe, and now in China, so everyone can say things like, oh, in the US, they have been increasing prices already, so it's coming over to China as well. Creates more hype. It's a better strategy. James replied to this post, extrapolating from Tesla's global sales price hike. Tesla's focus has shifted from deliveries to profitability this year, especially with the upcoming major update to FSD in May, and perhaps FSD is the highlight of the year worth looking forward to the most. I think this makes sense, says James, especially considering the fact that price cuts do not work and how long since reached diminishing returns, and I have described all the reasons why in previous posts, but there's a way to have the cake and eat it too. The solution is awareness generation and conversion. Anyway, when eventually Tesla figures out full self-driving and sends a software update to all of its vehicles, it will be the greatest recall in all of the automotive history. Oh, look at what Elon Musk just confirmed. Lemon's demands were indeed beyond absurd. His team is just trying to do damage control. This is the post that Elon replied to. Don Lemon's representatives denied the demands he made, but they were lying. Daily Mail has obtained paperwork outlining Lemon's original demands. Don wanted control on every creator that was coming to the platform. Don wanted a voice into what type of news information would be on the platform. One of his demands was to be the first podcast in space. Tesla Cybertruck, okay, I can understand the Cybertruck. A $10 million annual marketing commitment from X and a $5 million upfront payment. Lemon must be consulted by X when making decisions relating to news content on the platform, as well as any policy changes regarding, I believe, content posted on the platform. He wanted to receive a percentage of the budget upon X's future spend on original content. But approving any other news, current events, talent deals in the first year on X, yeah, that is a big ask. And you will want to check this out. Today I recorded a video reacting to YouTube comments on Don Lemon's antagonistic interrogation of Elon Musk, says Stephen Mark Ryan. I did so in a private browser tab, not logged in, so that the algorithm wouldn't mess up or tailor the replies based on his interests to him. 98% of the comments were, Don is an asshat. 2% were, not a Musk fan, but Don is an asshat. If you want to have a good laugh, pause at any time and read some of the comments. Someone says, I bet Elon wishes he took ketamine before this interview. If you like seeing history made in real time, in 6 weeks, we will have another chance at seeing it happen. SpaceX will be ready for the next Starship launch in just 6 weeks, the rocket that will help us colonize Mars. Ros Gerber posted, watch some video of this guy talking about losing his 8-figure net worth on Tesla stock. It's very sad to see. I think he's talking about the Tesla Economist. Please speak to a financial advisor. Crazy risk taking makes no sense. Gambling is not investing. And someone replied with, which advisor do you recommend? Gerber Kawasaki ETF isn't doing too hot. Now, personally, before I would give any money to a financial advisor, I would put my money into S&P 500, which I have already mentioned many times before on this channel if you have been following me from day one. If I didn't own Tesla stock, that's what I would own, S&P 500 in my stock portfolio. However, I will warn you that there have been periods where even if you held S&P 500 for 8-9 years, you actually ended up with less money. But if you kept it long enough, that money will actually eventually turn into decent returns, at least historically speaking. And Troy texted me on X. He wanted me to share this. Tesla delivered 422,800 cars a year ago in Q1. They need to beat that to avoid headlines about negative growth. So if you are below that, certainly there would be pressure on Tesla's stock. But looking at FSD, there is a possibility or a scenario where FSD could create a lot of hype for Tesla stock. So even if Tesla does not really do well with deliveries, it doesn't mean that the stock will definitely go down, but certainly there would be some pressure. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. My name is Matt Posius, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. If you have V12.3 and you had bad experiences, actually, I want you to comment down below, because we are getting too much positive feedback about it. I want to see what's actually going on, and if there are major issues with it, I want to know about them.